All right. Let's begin seated in a comfortable position with your hands turned up so that you're ready to receive. Find length in your spine, however you're seated. And then either close the eyes or simply lower them to the ground. Take a moment to look inside, to notice your emotions. There's so much going on around us in the world. Sometimes we don't even know how we feel about it all. But when we take a moment and acknowledge the feelings that we have, then we can begin to work with them. Know that our feelings are constantly changing, and it's okay. And then move your awareness to your mind. As human beings, our minds are so busy. We have so many reactions to the world. We have so many lists of things that we have to think about and take care of and do, and responsibilities. We have other people we're worried about. We have just everything going on all the time. But in order to take care of you, it's important that we set those things aside just for a short while. Some people journal before sleeping. It's their way of setting aside all those thoughts and saying, take this time to sleep. We'll get back to the thoughts tomorrow. So for now, simply set those thoughts aside with the promise that you will return to them, but that this is your dedicated time. And then bring your awareness into your body. Notice the twinges, the tightnesses. Notice the heartbeat and the breath. As you observe the breath moving in and moving out, notice as you fill with air that it isn't just in the front half of your body. It can fill the sides of your body. It can fill the back of your body. Notice this breath. From this awareness, we can move to control. Today, I'm going to invite you to do alternate nostril breathing, taking your right hand, placing your thumb on your right nostril and your ring finger on your left nostril, taking the two middle fingers, the pointer and the middle finger, and placing them up between your eyebrows, and just allow that pinky to tuck into your palm. What we're going to do is push the thumb into the right nostril, and then you breathe in through the left nostril. Now close off the left nostril, open the right nostril, breathe out. Breathe in. Close the right nostril. Open the left nostril. Breathe out. Breathe in. Close the left nostril. Open the right nostril. Breathe out. Breathe in. Close the right nostril. Open the left nostril. Breathe out. Breathe in. Close the left nostril. Open the right nostril. Breathe out. Remove your hand and take a breath completely through both nostrils. And release. The idea of the alternate nostril breathing is to find balance. Yes, and then we have to blow our nose often after doing that. But to balance our body, to balance our mind, to balance our energy, to balance the sympathetic nervous system with the parasympathetic. Let's go ahead and breathe. As you move your arms up, breathing in, lifting your chin to look between your hands, maybe even a slight back bend at the very top. Palms out, exhale, bring the arms down, lower the chin to the sternum. One more time. Inhale, raising up. Slight back bend at the top, just ever so slight. And when you're ready, flip the palms, exhale, lower the chin. This time when you breathe up to the top, you will be twisting your left side on your exhale, lowering the right arm to the left knee, placing the left hand behind your hip. From here, you can push in with the hands and lengthen your body even further. And then on the exhale, pull the belly toward the spine and rotate ever so slightly further. Back to center on your inhale, raising your arms. And to the right side on your exhale, lowering the arms. Again, use the hands to push in on your inhale and lift the body even further. And on the exhale, pull the belly toward the spine and rotate even further. Next inhale brings you back to center. And lower the arms down. Nice. Let's do those little shoulder shrugs. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Hold the breath as you pull them behind. And exhale as you actively, consciously pull as far down your back as you can. And then shake it out and do it again. Inhale, raising the shoulders. Hold the breath as you pull them back. And exhale as you pull down your back. Nice. Shake them out. Good. All right, let's switch our legs. If you have one leg in front, switch it to the back. Good. Let's go ahead and take our arms out at the sides. Still lifting from the pelvic floor, nice and strong. Take the right arm underneath the left arm, and you could choose to just give yourself a hug right here, or to bend the arms up where the backs of the palms come together, or to bring the palms palm to palm. And even right here, there's a good stretch going on in those shoulders. From here, many people have their elbows lowered. If you raise your elbows closer to your face, you will increase that stretch across the back of your shoulders. Likewise, if you have your hands bent forward so they're coming into your face, and you bring them away from your face, you will increase that stretch in the shoulders. And release. Shake it out. A little bit of back and forth. Nice. All right, arms out. Left arm across. Right arm on top. You could choose just to give yourself a hug right here. Or bending the arms so that the back of the palms come together. Or bringing them around so that the palms come together. From here, you can raise the elbows up toward your face, and you can pull the hands away from your face. And enjoy that nice stretch in your shoulders. And then release and shake it out. Nice. I'm going to do a few extra little quick shrugs. Nice. Okay. Let's go to Baddha Konasana, where the soles of the feet are together, the knees are out, and we're going to go ahead and begin with a little bit of footwork. Just use your hands and start maybe with your big toe and squeeze those big toes. And then as you walk your hands down, maybe to the base of the big toe, you give another good squeeze. And as you walk down, maybe into the ball of that foot on the edge, kind of walk your fingers around, squeezing, pushing, noticing the areas of tightness in your feet. Maybe rolling a little bit. You can use your knuckles or your thumbs, whatever works best for you. If you give your toes a little pull, each toe pulls away from you a little bit as you work with that. Into the arches of your feet, onto your heels. And then don't forget these calves. I'm going to straighten my left leg so I can easily bring my right leg over the top of that. It gives me better access to get into my calf. And then my gastroc, the big muscle, is nice and relaxed, and I can go behind, kind of a big squeeze around it to get to that soleus underneath. Yeah, different options. I love that one also, just bending it up on the floor. That's another way to work. I'm just going to go up and down the length. Good. All right, let's switch sides. And I'm going to do the left calf. So again, wherever you want to position that so you can reach that calf easily. Good job. Whether you're here, you're on the floor, however you want to do it. We're going to come back and do some more calf stretching once we stand up. Before we do that, I would like to go into a staff position. So if your feet are, legs are straight in front of you and your toes are pulled back toward you and your hands are by your hips, you're able to extend your body nice and long. You can feel the pelvic floor lifting. You can consciously lift it a little bit more. Nice. All right, so there's a lot of action going on here. If you're not able to sit up straight, be sure that you have something that you sit on. Raise those hips if you need to. People who are really, really tight find just this to be enough of a stretch. So feel free to raise the hips if you need to so that you can straighten that spine and the legs. Now, for some people, this is enough. Stay here if you want to. Toes are pulled up and back toward your face. Lift your arms on your inhale. And now on your exhale, I want you to imagine you're trying to grab an apple that's way up there, not too far in front of you. It's more up. And it's out, and you're trying to grab the apple, or you're walking up the rope. But I'm not stretching from my shoulders, okay? This is different. What I'm trying to do is lean forward just a wee bit and stretch from my side, okay? Let's do this. Put your hands on your shoulders. And from here, inhale up, and now you're going to try to bite that apple. So you have to lean toward the apple, but it's not down here. The apple's up there. So we're leaning forward, trying to bite the apple, and it's up a little bit, so we're kind of extending as far as we can, using our whole body to get longer. Yeah, that's working. I like that one. All right, release that, come back, however you'd like to do it again. So whether you have your arms up or down, it's not about the shoulder motion, it's about lengthening through that whole body. So here we go. Lengthen the body. And whether you have arms or up or down, doesn't matter. A little bit of a tip from the hip. The rear end is behind you. The body is long. Oh yeah, that looks really good. There we go, nice. And you can think about the backs of the legs pushing down into the ground. Pulling the toes back. And you can feel a lot going on right here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in and come up more, come up, come up, come up, come up. How tall can you get? Tall, 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 taller. There you go. Exhale. A little bit of a lean forward. Good. And then on your inhale, we're going to come up as much height as you can get. From the pelvic floor, through the whole body, through the neck, through the head, through the fingers. Lift, 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 lift. Lots of lifting, then exhale. All right, go ahead and round over. You can grab your toes or your calves. You can have pillows and blocks. You can have your head supported. Make a little stack. Now it's important when we do these round and holds that you let go. So you don't want to be at your most extreme, almost painful stretch. You want to be where there's a light stretch. You can feel it. You're actively aware of it. But you're able to, on your inhales, fill your body. You can feel your whole body expand. And on your exhales, you're able to release. It's like everything's just flowing out of you and you're sinking a little bit deeper. And you're allowing the body to experience rest. And you're allowing the mind to be only here in this moment, in this body, in this breath, in this sensation. If we stay here long enough, which we won't, we're not going to stay here for 5 minutes in one pose. But if we did, then we'd be practicing yin. And the concept of yin is that through time, as we relax further and further through this, we're able to get into the deeper and deeper tissues. And there's a tissue called the fascia tissue. It's that little white sheath, like if you were working with a chicken breast, and you can see the little thin little white film on top of the meat. That film is the fascia, and it covers you from head to toe. And the interesting thing about this fascia is that we hold physical injuries, like if you had a surgery. We hold emotional things that we haven't dealt with, and it can be sadness or anger or all kinds of things. And this fascia tissue holds these things, and they get knotted up deep inside. So
sometimes the pains that you have, there's like, you can't find a reason for it. But if you can get into this fascia tissue and you can release the fascia, you end up releasing some really old holdings, and suddenly everything gets better. So it's amazing. The idea of holding and releasing. Go ahead and gently push up to a seat. As we were discussing right now, the idea of the yin hold and the releasing of the emotions, it also makes me think of that there are so many kinds of yoga, but there's one called laughter yoga that's kind of interesting. Go ahead and sit however you're comfortable. The interesting thing about laughter yoga is besides releasing lots of things, it also is an abdominal workout. And so I have been to a couple of laughter yoga classes, and you feel pretty weird, pretty awkward at the beginning. But I'm going to give you a tiny little sample right now because it's interesting. Usually you're in a group of people where you can see each other and interact. So Lisa and Tucker, when we do this exercise, I want you to look into each other's eyes, because you can. And it will feel like, oh, this is so ridiculous. But the result of this is real laughter, and it's really good for you. So for just a moment, let's do a couple of different kinds of laughs. The first one is going to be the Santa laugh. And all you're going to do is try to look at people, good luck, and say, ho, 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 ho. Ready? Okay. Ho, 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 ho. Keep going. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, go ahead and stop. You can feel, you're starting to feel a little bit silly, you get a little bit of giggly. That's creating good endorphins, and it's chemical that makes you feel good. And you didn't have to watch a comedian or see something funny. You started with this, okay, I'm going to say ho, ho, ho. That's kind of silly, but it ends up making you feel good, right? So they've got all kinds of these little exercises that you do. And like I said, it's a little bit of an abdominal workout. And at the same time, you're creating good, happy endorphins. So that's kind of fun. All right, moving on. Let's come to standing, please. Is that called the belly laugh?
That is belly laugh, yes. All right, so when you're standing, I'm going to ask you to place your right foot in front and your left foot back, so maybe a foot apart, maybe 18 inches, whatever you're comfortable with. The feet should be about mat width, and not mat width, I'm sorry, hip width. And then the right foot, like I said, about a foot in front. So the trick here is that you're going to keep your body upright. Your shoulders are back, your pelvic floor is lifted, keeping tall. And now we're going to bend our knees. We're not bending forward, keeping the body upright, bend your knees. So you're just lowering, and it might only be a couple of inches. And I get to this point very quickly where I'm like, wait a minute, I cannot go any further. My left calf is absolutely going, whoa, stop right there. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to explore. What if you put more weight in the balls of your feet? Okay, then I get even more sensation in that calf. What if I put more weight in the heels of my feet? And a different kind, but more sensation again. A lot of sensation there. Okay, and straighten your legs, come up to stand. Switch, bring the right leg back underneath you. Bring the left leg forward. Lift the body, keep the body upright. Bend the knees. It's like an elevator going up and down. You bend the knees, keeping the body vertical. And then you can explore the weight more toward the front, toward the balls, but don't lean from the hips because you won't get any effect. Keep the body upright. That's so important for this. And then you can put more weight in the heels and come up to stand. All right, shake those out a little bit. All right, both
Feet are under my hips. I'm going to bend both knees. So again, my whole body is staying upright. And then I'm going to lift my heels. So now I'm strengthening. There you go. Good. And then heels down and straighten up. So again, I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to lift my heels. Good. You can hold there and you can keep holding. You got it. Okay, heels down, straighten the legs. Good. All right. Are you feeling this in your calves, everybody?
I'm feeling it in my thighs.
Thighs. Okay, the thighs are working when we lift as well, yeah. All right, good. All right, let's try this. Everybody go to a wall. So we're looking at the same muscles here. And on the wall, I have my left foot behind me and my right knee is bent. My left leg is straight. My right knee is bent. And I am leaning by bringing my whole body closer to the wall. My left heel is pushing back into the floor. And again, that helps me get that stretch. So hold this for a moment. And then come up out of that a little bit. Move your feet closer together and closer to the wall. Bend both knees. Bend both knees. Now push into the wall. And explore the sensation in that, especially left calf. Make sure you still push the heel down even though the knee is bent. Bending that knee makes a big difference. Go ahead and lift up and reverse legs. So my right leg is going to be in the back and it's going to be straight knee. My left knee is going to be bent and I'm going to tip into the wall. Watch out for hips being sideways. Keep the hips facing the wall. And breathe with this. So the gastrocnemius goes across both the knee joint and the ankle joint, whereas the soleus just goes across the knee joint. And so when you bend or straighten the knee, you're going to affect these differently. All right. Once you've done that stretch, then bring the right foot in a little bit. Bend both knees. And then again, push into this wall while pushing into the ground with the right heel. Good job. All right, come on back to center. Back to your mat. Good. All right, so let's do just a little bit more with the ankles. Let's have them facing outward this time. Bending my knees. I'm going to lift one ankle, or sorry, one heel lifting up, and then the other heel lifting up. Heel down, heel down. Heel up, up, down, down. So you're just working these joints and actually all the way into the toes in ways that you don't normally. Good. If you want to challenge yourself, you can stay up on both toes and you can do some little raises and lowers while you're on your toes, but that's a challenge. If you'd rather simply raise and lower one heel at a time, that's fine. Good. And come to stand. Good. Shake it out and head back down to your mat, onto your tabletop. All right. So we're going to use your down dog as another way to strengthen and stretch. So first, when you're in your tabletop, find your strength. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift it toward your heart. Good. Now push with your arms. In fact, imagine that you're pulling those shoulders apart. You're wrapping these elbows around a pile of laundry or a big pile of leaves. You're really strong. Good. Tuck your toes under. Lift your tailbone like you're doing a cow. So my head is up, my tailbone is up, my core is lifted. I'm gonna lift my what are these? Knees. Lift my knees off the ground and push my hips way back by my ankles. From here, I can begin to straighten my legs. You don't have to get them straight. The most important thing is that you're way back behind your hands. Bend your knees more. Everybody bend your knees a lot. Now with your knees bent, pull your hips back by your feet. Keep the knees bent. Keep the hands forward. We want to get the body as far back as you can. Keep the hands as far forward as you can and move the hips as far back as you can. So you're having to lengthen the body. All right, good. Come on down for a mini rest. Good. So I'm going to go up again and into my nice long line with my head way behind. And then I'm going to start working on my feet. What I'm doing is bending one knee and then the other, going up to the toes. This is called walking out your dog. So I'm going to encourage you to find your dog and walk. I'm going to go sideways so you can see better. There we go. All right, so if I'm up on my toes, I'm going to bend one knee and then the other knee. And I'm pushing my heel either into or as close to the ground as I can. Walking out your dog. That'll definitely get into the calves. Good. All right, and then come on down for the little mini rest. And I'll show you the next thing. So the next thing we're going to be doing, I think this is the best angle. There. Okay, so from here, we're going to be raising one leg off the ground into the parallel with the ground first. Then we're going to raise that foot up and tip that hip open. Back to parallel and down. All right, let's give it a try. First, find strength. Then find the dog. When you're ready, I'm going to take my left leg this time. I'm going to raise it parallel to the ground. Then I'm going to raise it even higher and open the hip. Back to parallel to the ground. Lower that leg and bring your knees down. This is not easy, but once you get it, you'll have it. So we'll try it again. As you're ready, when you've had that little shake out, little bit of a break, and yes, feel free to stay in tabletop. If down dog is too much, you can do this from your tabletop. You're still opening the hip. Okay, so for those who are ready, you're going up into your down dog. Raising the right leg this time, parallel to the ground, and then higher and opening the hip. If you'd like to bend your right leg so that the foot is coming toward your rear end, that's a nice option as well. Then straighten the leg, back to parallel, and lower it. Are you able to switch right here without taking that little break? If so, bring your left leg up. Bring it higher and open, even bending so the knee is toward the sky, And the foot is toward the rear end. And again, straighten, find parallel, bring it down, knees down. How are you doing?
Okay, great.
Good, good. All right, so let's, got a few minutes. Let's go ahead and make a little mini flow out of this. Let's start in our tabletop position, and we're gonna do up, so I'm doing cow, cat, and then I'm pushing back, so my heels are onto my rear end is onto my heels. And then I'm going into down dog, raising my right leg, opening it toward the sky, back to parallel, and down, raising the left leg, opening toward the sky, back to parallel, and down. Bending my knees, looking toward my hands, bringing my right knee up between my hands. So I'm going to be on my toes in the back and bring my right foot up between my hands, so I'm in a low lunge. So my left foot is extended behind me and only my foot is on the floor. And then my right knee is up by my arm. All right, bring your left foot up between your hands. So now both feet are between your hands and you're in a forward fold. There we go. Okay, so you can put your hands up onto your calves and you can straighten your spine. Take an inhale in and an exhale out. Hands to the floor. Take your right leg all the way behind you. So your right toes are on the ground behind you and your left foot is on the ground in front by your hands. Good. Now I want you to raise your hips up high and then lower your hips down low. We're just gonna raise and lower. So you're gonna be straightening and bending that front leg at the same time. So we're just getting your body used to this. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see differently. So I'm trying to get my hips nice and low, and then I'm raising my hips and straightening the front leg. Lowering the hips and raising the hips. Getting the body used to the position. Good. From here, I'm going to be putting both hands onto the ground and bringing both legs back behind me and pushing up and back into that down dog. And from that down dog, I'm going to start with my left leg raising, opening the hip, bending the knee, and then straightening the leg, finding parallel again, back down, switching sides, so the right leg will raise to parallel, opening the hips, bending the knee, and when I'm ready, again, straightening the leg, back to parallel hips, and down. And then bring both knees to the ground and push your hips back onto your heels, open the knees, and go into that child's pose. So that child's pose is a resting pose. So you can just breathe and integrate the benefit you've gotten from this movement. Breathe and relax. Nice. Inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, go ahead and push back up into that tabletop position. I also want to do the thread the needle, which is very good for the shoulder and neck area again. So we're going to be taking the right arm out, pushing into the left shoulder, lifting the right arm, twisting the body up toward the right side. And that might be enough. That might be an area where you need to hold. Or on your exhale, you can tuck that right arm under the left arm, bringing the shoulder and the head all the way down to the ground. And maybe this is enough and you want to hold here. Or extend your left arm forward, or bring your left arm behind your back. Or maybe for you, flowing with the breath. On the inhales, raising the right arm. And on the exhales, tucking the right arm under. Feel free to flow with your breath as long as you'd like, but also feel free to decide when you need to hold, either at the top or the bottom, when it works best for you. And when you are ready, find your way to center tabletop again. To switch to the other side, you're going to be pushing in with your right arm as you extend your left arm out and twist upward. And again, you can hold this position if that's what does marbles for you. Or tucking under the right arm. And if you love to stay right here at the base, you may, or you may flow. Remember, you always have options of pushing in with the right arm, or extending it out, or bringing it behind your back. Whatever is best for you. And when you're ready, return to your tabletop. And then push your hips back onto your heels. Nice. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Good? All right. Let's go ahead and bring our legs around into a wide straddle position. So when we were doing the down dog with our legs up in the air and twisting, you're working on your sides, on your obliques. So we're going to do a little bit of oblique right here. Let's go ahead and take your left elbow, and the left elbow is going to come down onto your left thigh. You're going to take your right shoulder and you're going to pull it behind you, like you're trying to look behind you over your right shoulder. So the left is on the left thigh, and you're going to continue with the right arm lifting up, tall. Even though you're looking back behind the right arm, you're starting to slide down your left leg. So you're going up, 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 and possibly over, over, over toward that left leg with the right arm. Breathing in And breathing out. One more breath. When you're ready, gently push back up to center. So this time my right elbow is going to go onto my right leg and my left arm is going to extend up. Now it's important that you don't bring your left shoulder forward. Bring the left shoulder behind you, like you're trying to look under your left armpit and you're looking behind you. So then you're extending your whole body, lengthen, lengthen, up, 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 and then over toward your right leg. Looking up, looking under that left arm, moving toward the right leg. Inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, inhaling, exhaling, and returning back to center. Shaking it out. Nice. I'm going to bend my left leg, and I'm going to take my right leg on top of the left leg. Okay, let's straighten the left leg. Let's do it that way. Okay, I'm going to straighten the left leg, and I'm going to pull that right leg up as far as I can. Now, for some of you, this is going to be enough. Feel free just to lift your body while you're working on this. Some of you are going to be able to lift this leg up, hold it a little bit higher, maybe even wrap it like a baby, and get a nice stretch in your right hip area. Nice. Now, we all want to do this, right? We all want to round. So your goal is going to be, oh, how straight can I get my spine while lifting this leg? You'll have a definite sensation there. Breathing in, breathing out, maybe rocking a little bit. And breathing in and breathing out. Nice. And set that leg down. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and bring the left leg up. Going across your right leg and deciding if you want to lift that higher. You want to hold it like a baby. This is my tighter side. It's harder to get to. Holding and breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, maybe rocking a little bit. And setting that down. Let's go ahead and take your left arm across to your right foot. And you might grab your toe, you might grab your ankle, you might grab, your knee, whatever you can grab. From here, we're going to lift that leg and use the arm to hold it. Now, your goal here is to try and straighten up that spine again, using the right arm behind you and twisting back toward the right arm. Again, it's a nice stretch along that leg. If your knee is bent because that's all you can do, that's fine. Now straighten your body and work toward straightening that leg. Then breathe in and breathe out. When you're ready, Go ahead and set that leg down and untwist. So we're going to take the right arm across, and you're going to grab wherever you can on the left leg. You're going to lift that up. Again, if your knee is bent, that's fine. Lengthen your body. Work toward straightening. May not get it, that's okay. Take your left arm behind you and twist from your belly toward your spine, toward the left side. Working toward straightening the body and toward straightening the leg. And when you are ready, you may set that down. Nice. Let's do a quad stretch also. So I'm going to have you go ahead and lay down on your right side so that you can easily bend your left leg, grabbing the foot, pulling it toward your rear end, pushing the knee down toward your other foot. Watching out for having the knees far apart. The legs should be together as much as possible in order to get that stretch in the front of your thigh, the quadriceps. Is that working?
Yeah.
Breathe in. Breathe out. And when you're ready, rolling onto your left side. Again, you're going to be reaching back to grab your right foot. You're going to bring your knees, watch out for having them open. You're going to try to bring those knees closer together. You're pushing your foot toward your rear end. And at the same time, that top knee is pushing down like it's trying to come down to where your feet are. You can think about the front of your hip and push that forward at the same time. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, release that and roll onto your back. On your back, go ahead and hug your knees into your belly and then do a little rocking, side to side, up and down, whatever feels good for you. Little circles with your knees. Good. As you're able, go ahead and extend your legs and arms into your Savasana. So feet would be at about mat width, arms at about 45 degrees. Close your eyes and relax, ready to listen. If your body is not comfortable here, it might need to have a little blanket folded under your head or under your knees, or maybe you need to have your feet flat on the floor, or maybe you need to have your legs up the wall. These are all options, whatever is best for you in order to find that stillness. Yoga is a process of slowing down the churnings in your mind. We've done the physical work, the asana, and now we listen and integrate, finding stillness, hopefully, in the mind.
Imagine your body is floating on the water of the magic sea. This magic sea is the perfect temperature for you. This magic sea has no splashes and no drowning. It just supports you entirely. And your body is completely comfortable floating in this magic sea. And you allow your body to release and begin to sink gently through the magic sea. Slowly floating comfortably down through the magic sea. Coming to the bottom of the magic sea and resting peacefully on the magic sea floor. Feeling completely at ease, completely comfortable, and filled with love, filled with joy, filled with wonder, knowing that everything is all right. Everything is connected. And enjoying this magical, quiet rest. And then remember this amazing calmness, this amazing love, the feeling of wonder and connection, and bring those with you as you return to your space, feeling the mat under your body, the air against your skin, and finding your way back to your space and into a seated position of comfort. Bringing your palms together at heart center and remembering the word namaste means the light within me honors the light in you, and so we share. Namaste.
Namaste.